Let's see. Let's see if we've got sound. Let me check it quickly. Let's see. Okay, there is sound, so we can start naturally. My name is Hightech, of course. I'm the creator of Hightech Meme Coin, and on these live streams, I talk about what just happened today in the cryptocurrency market. What do I think about it regarding nearly 11 years of my experience in this field, and in between the lines, I explain more or less what high tech is. So yeah, join me, participate in the conversation naturally. The conversation potentially can be ongoing here in the live chat right here. If you guys write on one of those platforms here, X, Rumble, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, I should see it here. And then of course I will respond to the best of my abilities if I feel competent enough. Well, in the meantime, I'll be discussing what we've got today in the crypto sphere. So, on the crypto bubbles, we can see definitely, some green performance here, some good performance here. Nothing mind blowing, naturally. As you see, most of coins display single digits, single positive digits. There is few negative, but okay, sorry. I'm sorry, this is hourly. Okay, when we switch to daily, okay, now it's much better. I see. Okay, so we've got double digits today as well, and API 3 is one of those coins that I have in trade, and as you see, here was my entry. It went sideways for quite a while. How long was it before it shut up? Just 4 days, almost 5 days. It went quite a lot into negative in the meantime. Yeah, quite a lot. Almost minus 10%, but it did not let it go, and that was the right thing to do, as you see, because as of now it's plus 14%, above 14%. So that's cool. Cake is another coin that I definitely have in a trade, and this one is performing quite good too. This one is at plus 51%, over 51% in profit. And of course, Bitcoin trade is doing fairly well too, because those that watch me from time to time may remember that I'm in a position on Bitcoin at almost above plus 9%, as you see on 15-minute candle, where the signal was generated. And what's my opinion about it? Well, I don't think we should see any retracements anytime soon. I think it's October already. It would be, in my humble view, it would be very weird if we have any large negative volatility now. All we can get is something like this, a small retracements, insignificant in the grand scheme of things like this, and then we will continue to climb higher and higher. And I think solid chunk of November it will remain the same, more or less. I repeat it every single time, every single live stream, whenever I live stream, because as you know, the public on my English YouTube channels is not the biggest, so there is a lot of new people coming, every single week. So that is why I'm kind of forced to repeat myself a lot. So I said it yesterday, I repeat it today. Nothing has changed, because also people get that assumption if especially when nothing really is happening, people tend to zoom in, and then they see something. They then see something like this here, and they think that a catastrophe happened, right? So something catastrophic has happened, and they forget to zoom out, right? They forget about zooming out, and then um, they get that type of thinking. Something has significantly shifted, and what now? What now? What am I doing now? Right? Please tell me. As a matter of fact, as you see, we maintain the uptrend, and we have very little volatility in this negative volatility in this uptrend is very regular in terms of cryptocurrency character, temperament, and nothing worrisome. I don't see anything unsettling happening on the horizon for at least another 30 or maybe 40 days. So let me quickly confirm if connection is good, but it is. It is quite stable. Again, guys, if you have any questions, naturally ask me. I will see it here in the live chat. As soon as I notice, I will respond in the most let's say adequate manner possible, an educated manner possible. 11 years of experience is quite something, especially 11 years of active participants, not passive observation, because there's many people that have even skin in the game, but they don't touch anything, right? They don't try anything. They rely on pure hodl, and let me tell you, hodl will not be sufficient forever. It's sufficient only in the, let's say, beginning stage of life of an asset, such as Bitcoin. 10 years, considering what it aspires for, it's not really 10, 15 years is not really that long, right? Because it aspires for a digital gold, right? So gold is something that has existed for thousands of years as money. So 10, 15 years, when we compare two of these assets, is really completely nothing. So right now we are in the very beginning stage. Theoretically, assuming Bitcoin will not, go away within the next couple of years, will not fade away. We're in the very early stage. If we believe those narratives of Bitcoin maxis, that Bitcoin will be here, in the next 1,000 years, which I totally do not believe. And it's not because I'm anti-Bitcoin, absolutely not. I wish Bitcoin the best. I just don't think that's feasible. If we believe that those narratives, then this is likely. Really nothing, and we don't really know much about what is the real nature of Bitcoin, and how can it behave, and in what kind of times. So right now we are on the rise, and I think this cycle, this year, even year, I think we should see 150K per Bitcoin. Where at what price are we going to see the final top? God knows. Nobody knows really. But this is my estimation. It can be anything in between here and literally $1 million, right? I could be wrong, naturally, and this fund can also stop around here, and we could be staring at the cycle top right now. Uh, that's pure guessing. In my estimation, it is unlikely though. It is very unlikely. But if that's indeed the fact, then I will get exit signal here on 15-minute interval, and I'll be talking about it here. I will be notifying you naturally, and that's a value in itself, I think, to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because if you follow those trades I give away here for free, well, you would be doing very well when it comes to Bitcoin and even Ethereum. Because, but Ethereum I do not show regularly. Uh, I do not report it as much as Bitcoin. I do not show all of trades. In case of Bitcoin, I show all of my trades. So it's very easy to keep track of it. So yeah, so personally, what is on the radar, so to speak. I think Bitcoin should easily do 100% from here. It shouldn't be too much of a deal. But also, I start to believe more and more that altcoins will steal the show at some point, and that is why the way altcoins have been treated in recent 2 years was not the best. It received a very harsh treatment. It was functioning in very unfriendly conditions, and that is why there is a lot of upgrade potential accumulated in there. I mean, the longer altcoins go sideways, the harder they will explode once the time comes. So yeah, right. Definitely, I would not advise you to short Bitcoin. Forget about something like shorting. I know it's tempting because of surrounding narratives. The S&P 500 is climbing higher and higher. Everyone is calling for a multi-decade cycle top. But remember, it's all measured against US dollar, which is a melting ice cube. So that is why it will have to go higher and higher. Naturally, corrections will occur, but the nature of things is such that it has to display larger digits. And given the current situation, if we want to consider what available tools show to us, like for example the liquidity, we see a high concentration above the price. When we display a weekly context here, we see a high concentration above the price in the vicinity of $126,000 and above, as you see. And yeah, probably will go there fairly quickly, maybe even today. If not today, then sometime this week, and we'll go for that liquidity, right? There's also quite a lot of spread liquidity beneath, but I believe. I mean, I've been talking about it for quite a few days already. Before we went up, before we have beaten a new all-time high, I said that probably the liquidity sitting beneath is a spoofing. That is, those are market makers spoofing the market, making average Joes believe that we have to come down first before we go up, and in the meantime they pump up the price and they liquidate the real liquidity that is trying to short this. And yeah, I still think that is the case, and I think we will see more of what we stare at right now, meaning that there will be larger and larger concentration of liquidity popping up above the price, and they'll be they'll be getting liquidated in a serial fashion, right? In a serial manner. Like it will refuse to stop, right? It will just keep climbing and climbing in a somewhat lazy manner when you look at it from a closer distance. But on a zoom out, of course, it will have a character of a parabolic move. We don't have much time left, until mid-November, just several weeks. So naturally, just because of that, with the sheer power of that, things will have to be speeding up, and I highly advise you to expect that. Pull up your guard with the beginning of November, moving into the mid November. Then I think a good idea will be to take some profits, because even if the correction I expect is not going to be as large as I believe it will be. Well, you will guarantee yourself a choice, right? A position of power. A position of power, in my mind, is a comfort of choice, right? So you will have dry powder. You will be you will have the comfort of deciding if you want add up to your position on the way down, even if that correction is not going to be anywhere close to spectacular. And that's why, yeah, it's always, especially if you're in a huge profit, or let's say noticeable profit, it's always a good choice to take a little bit of chips off the table, at least a little bit. So yeah, let's take a look how liquidations have been doing for the last 24 hours. So Ethereum, $80 million, of course, shorts, mainly shorts liquidated. Bitcoin 71, that's low. Also mainly shorts liquidated. We've seen much more liquidated in longs in previous weeks. So probably what is going on is we are in this phase of attracting more retail investors, because if class of assets are not the class of asset is not performing well, it's practically impossible to attract attention to it in a positive sense. Is impossible to make people throw money at it, and market makers, of course, benefit from liquidating gamblers, as I call them. Everyone who thinks they can manage futures trading on leverage, even if that leverage is conservative, well, it literally skyrockets the level of difficulty to manage that portfolio. It's way easier to commit a mistake simply because you have to. Because you're kinda very, let's say, encouraged to open much more trades than usually, so that carries a much higher risk of over trading than normal, than for example on the spot market. And yeah, now is the time. Now is the time to talk to all of those market participants that stayed away. They still got money to lose here, but they must be brought somehow, right? They must be they must be attracted in whatever manner, and that whatever manner, actually, the only choice here is to pump it up, right? Is to pump it up, talk about it in the mainstream media, convince people boil them slowly like a frog, convince people that it keeps going up and it will stay that way for for a very long for a very long period. Just so they invest, and then of course they will form exit liquidity for the big players, and that's always the plan, at least partially. So yeah, I think this month and partially next month is literally that time we are staring at. Okay, let's take a look. How about crypto fear and greed index at 62? So it's picking up a little bit of an uptick here. We are in low levels of greed. Yesterday we were still at neutral level at 59, if I remember correctly. Today at 62. That's still very low, to be honest. Altcoin season is below 60, so right now it goes somewhat hand in hand with crypto fear and greed index. There is a synchro in between them. In recent weeks, it was the spread was quite big. The discrepancy was quite big in between them, and now it's much more synchronized. And yesterday, as you see here on crypto ETF's net flow chart, yesterday there was quite a lot. Is it from yesterday? Yes, from 6th, so Monday. So yeah, so there was quite a lot of inflow. So Friday and Monday, as you see, very good days for spot ETFs. For Bitcoin, mainly for Bitcoin, a little bit for Ethereum. Well done, definitely well done. No wonder we're pumping. So that's good, and it will have to stay this way. This month it will have to stay this way. Okay, if you guys have any questions, naturally write me in the live chat, of course. If there's something I usually do not talk about, but you want me to discuss, the subject, the topic, don't be shy and just let me know. In the meantime, let me actually turn on my X application here, because I just remember that if you write it here on X, I will not see it. So yeah, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is doing things I wanted to see. At least today. Let's hope it stays that way. So it's having troubles, right? It's having troubles. I pointed it out yesterday that every single time Bitcoin dominance prints a daily candle like the one from yesterday, it is very risky. It is very risky to keep betting on Bitcoin dominance going higher, right? Because it has huge potential to be the moment of pivot, right? And today, as you see, we have a follow up of this donut move. We almost came down to 58.6. So I really like what I see. If you watched my previous live streams, you know very well what is my opinion about Bitcoin dominance. It's literally heading to zero. Not in a day, not in a month, not in a year, but over the years, we will see it just going lower and lower, and it will be printing all-time lows every once in a while. How long it will take for it to go literally to zero? Well, as I said, God knows it could take 10 years. It could take 50 years too. So there is no point in guessing that. But it's definitely heading to zero. That one is certain, absolutely certain. How do I know it? Because it's a free market environment, and it's a very competitive space, unbelievably competitive space. Bitcoin has huge limitations that are very difficult to overcome because of its size, the size of its community, and let's say groups of interests, groups of interest around it that want to maintain the status quo. They don't want certain changes to occur that could make Bitcoin a little bit more competitive, but also more centralized, right? So that's why at some point something will come up, something will pop up that will be same as Solid and Bitcoin in those strong sides of Bitcoin, but will not have the same shortcomings, the same limitations as Bitcoin, right? And then it will slowly start to take over. It will slowly start to win the heart of the people, and that's just a matter of time. And the nature of free market. Nothing can be done here, so don't feel sorry. Just be aware. So yeah, I really like how it's going so far. Of course, we still can have a rebound from this 58.6, and even still continue with the march for 59.6. That's definitely not out of the picture yet, but slowly now it's heading the right direction, which is downwards. So I think this week will do it, right? This week, at the end of the day, I mean not today, of course, proverbial day, will take out. I don't know what the hell just happened. We'll take out this low here, right? And we will see a new local low, which of course will fuel up the altcoin market. Now is the time for the altcoin market to absolutely boom. This is the season. This is the season. October and November are those months, making the season for altcoins, making all of the requirements satisfied, and liquidity in the right place, moves in the right place, seasonality in the right place. Now even the market structure is adequate. When we look at the other chart, this one is literally in a position ready to start go, right? So I can't imagine. I can't imagine the outcome market doing nothing within upcoming weeks. That just outside of the scope of my imagination, to be honest. This structure here, it's in my opinion, this is absolute fire. And then even in the larger scope, this and its inclination, how it's leaning, and how is it looking in between, this is an absolute fire. We will have to take out on this chart. We'll have to take out this local high here. I can't this year. Still this year, I can't. I do not see any other option. That does not mean that does not mean it will happen with 100% of certainty. Not in trading, nothing has 100% of certainty. There is no setup that gives you 100% of certainty. But having said so, by the looks, I'm staring at it 11 years or close to 11 years, and by the looks of it, I feel very calm inside about the future, to be honest. There's no doubt in my mind, there's no doubt in my heart that we will see huge pumps across the board. So share, like, and subscribe, guys, if you haven't done so, naturally. And don't forget about the sponsor of the channel, which is my meme coin, Hightech. You will find the link to its liquidity pool in the description section of this live stream. This is still a very microscopic market, just 61 holders, as you see. So it has an immense upside potential. I believe this is the easiest trade on the whole internet. right now. Get yourself just in case. Listen, just in case I'm right. Get yourself $1 or $2 or $3 worth of it, just in case I'm right. Because if I'm wrong, you'll lose, I don't know, $1, $2, or $3. You'll survive. But if I'm right and that one, two, or $3 will turn into few grands, then you will just hate yourself. So I think that's a fair proposal. All right, let's take a look quickly. What has happened today in the crypto market? I asked Grok uh, for um, for a little bit of a research about today. What has he written? The cryptocurrency market is experiencing a strong bullish day. That one I already noticed. Institutional and whale activity. Institutions are piling in aggressively. Fidelity and Bitwise scooped up $172 million in BTC, while Bitmain immersion grabbed 179,000 Ethereum in a massive buy. Tether boosted its capital by $129 million and increased its stake in Juventus FC. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Regulatory and macro developments. U.S. government shutdown drags into week two amid failed Senate funding bill. 30 minutes loom this week with a 94% chance of an October rate cut. Yeah, that would be very weird if we don't get interest rate cut this month. Some say it's going to be 50 bps. I think it will be 25. 50 will be a little bit too scary to some, some TradFi folks. So I think they'll keep it low key on the trajectory that that is neutral, right? Global. India advances RBI-backed digital rupee plans. EU boosts ESMA oversight on crypto and stocks while unifying stablecoin rules. Okay. Vietnam limits its crypto pilot to 5 exchanges. Okay, I didn't even know that Vietnam had any crypto pilot. Standard Chartered predicts 1 trillion shifting to stablecoins by 2028. Yeah, I think that's where I see the biggest shift in how the altcoin market is treated, because all walls will fall, all barriers will fall once the TradFi shifts over to use stablecoins, and that liquidity. There are literally zero obstacles for that capital to go from TradFi to altcoins, and that is why I think the biggest altcoin bubble in the history of humankind is still ahead of us. Ecosystem highlights. DeFi and Infra. Pantera Capital launched a $1 billion plus blockchain fund V targeting tokenization, AI, crypto, and RWAs. On the finance acquires Oasis Pro for regulated tokenized securities. No. Okay, let's go to my Polish kicked in for a second. Let's go. It's a little bit boring. Let's go to my timeline because it's literally a wall of text. I'm not in a mood of dealing with walls of text, of deadly walls of texts right now. So let's update ourselves here on my timeline. BNB flips XRP, now the third largest crypto by market cap. Okay, I'm in a trade on BNB to be honest. I can even show you the trade. It's doing quite well, that trade. Oh, typo. It's doing quite well. It's at plus 28.7%. So good, very good. Binance is the largest crypto exchange in the world by far. Americans are aware of Coinbase, which is number 2, and being number 2 is like 1/6, 1/7 of what Binance is. So If you want to compare Binance against the exchanges in the top 10, you will need like seven of them to get what Binance is operating at. You know, that's how huge Binance is. Binance is absolutely humongous. It's gigantic. Okay, let's investigate further what has happened today on my timeline. Has happened today in the crypto space. Justin Anthony Pompliano says Bitcoin will never stop going up because they will never stop printing money. Yeah, to a certain extent, that's true. But at some point, Bitcoin will be falling against another asset, as I explained before. It functions in a free market environment, and that means it will not be able to stay dominant forever. It will lose its dominance and then significance over time. Yeah, again about BNB flipping XRP. You can now fund your Polymarket wallet with Bitcoin. Okay, so you can be betting on Polymarket using Bitcoin. And Polymarket is a predictive market, of course. Uh, so you can bet on different things. This one is actually interesting. That okay, you can do that. That's fun. Ethereum fear. I have not been interested in predictive markets because they do not serve cryptos. But now maybe I'll get more because I have a very good record of predicting what will happen. So maybe I will bet something, bet on something. Ethereum fear and greed index. Ethereum fear and greed index is 68, but this is a different Ethereum. Fear and greed index. Than the one that I use. Bullish Nasdaq listed Solana company, formerly Helios, boosts sold holdings to over 2.2 million tokens worth 525 millions. Let me rephrase it. Let me remind you that Solana right now is the only blockchain that is capable of handling Internet of Things. So that's not a trivial, capability. What else? Tommy bought over 821 million dollars worth of Ethereum last week. Yeah, that's quite a lot. Crypto saving expert breaking. The smarter web company adds 25 more Bitcoin, now holding 2,550 Bitcoin. That's something. 25 does not sound like a lot, but especially for those that are in the space for a long time. But yeah, mind you, mind you that Bitcoin is now at $125,000, right? So that's actually not a small money anymore, not a small amount anymore. So, yeah. Okay, guys, allow me to wrap it up. I don't want to make it too long and too boring. Share, like, and subscribe, and don't forget to throw something at my meme coin. Why? Because since this is the only project I promote here, indirectly it translates to being my stock, right? The stock of this YouTube channel or Rumble channel, depending, or my ex, depending on where you consume this content. This content. And in that matter is a very innovative approach, and I think over time it's going to be copied a lot. And this project will stay with me forever. So my interest is to keep expanding it, make it grow, make people know about it, make people think about it, make people talk about it. I still have plenty of room for growth on all of my social media. I'm practically at the beginning of the road. So yeah, I think the win-lose ratio here is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. inserting $1 or $2 here, you don't risk anything, and the potential win is ridiculous. So yeah, thank you for your time, guys. I'll see you sometime soon. Cheers.